Hello and welcome back to Totally Music. So for this week I'm going to be reviewing Full Moon by ColdPlay. Full Moon is the special edition of Moon Music, which was released by ColdPlay on the 4th of October, and Full Moon contains 20 tracks on the album, 10 of which are from Moon Music, and then there's 10 which they call Blue Moon bonus tracks, which include a mixture of 3 new songs and then alternative versions of the songs that are on disc 1. I thought I would review Full Moon because it's been roughly a month since Moon Music came out, and I thought I'd see if anything's changed over the month. On my initial thoughts, as they've now added 10 new tracks, I've listened to it quite a bit and I just wanted to discuss my thoughts on it. So Full Moon came out 2 days after Moon Music, and it came out on the 6th of October 2024. So for my initial thoughts on Full Moon, and to be completely honest, I was a little bit confused by the track listing. I was confused as to which were the new songs and which were the alternative versions of the songs on disc 1. I went into this completely blind because I didn't actually know this had been released. So as soon as somebody told me it had been, I literally just hit play on the album. I knew nothing about it, as I say, completely blind to what was on it. For example, they've named on disc 2, the song that's on disc 1 that's named I-A-A-M, which I think is like I Am. They've named that one I Am a Mountain, and it kind of took me a while to realise that they were related and it was just kind of the alternative version of that song, so that did throw me a bit, and it did take me a while to process which were the alternative versions of the songs on disc 1 and which were the 3 new tracks. But I do like, now we have Full Moon, how we have the full names of the tracks that are on disc 1, because on Moon Music I was quite confused as to why some of the letters were uppercase and lowercase, and that's kind of answered my question now, so I do like that. As I mentioned in my review of Moon Music, I really like how it transitions from Moon Music to It Feels Like I'm Falling in Love, and I don't know what it is on this Full Moon version, but I feel like on disc 2 the transition between those 2 songs is just so much smoother, and it's even more insane how it's done. Now I can't work out if it is exactly the same and it's just because Moon Music is slightly different. I don't know what it is, but I just felt the flow was like incredible. When it kicks in, it's just like, yes, this flows so nicely. And I do really like how Full Moon contains live versions of the songs on Moon Music, because you get to hear them from a different perspective. And I do like the nice little touch of how they've renamed Feels Like Falling in Love to It Feels Like Falling in Live, because it's a live track, and I just thought that was a clever little touch on there. I also love the 3 new songs on disc 2 of Full Moon. They are Karate Kid, Angel Song and Wave. So that was really nice to get the additional bonus songs, because I love Moon Music and it's really nice to have these 3 additional songs. It was a nice surprise when I listened to Full Moon. So for my favourite set of lyrics on Full Moon, and even with the addition of the alternative versions and the 3 extra songs, it hasn't changed since I did the previous review. And my favourite set of lyrics have to come from the song All My Love. It's just overall a beautifully touching song, so my favourite lyrics still remain as: you've got all my love, whether it rains or pours, I'm yours. You've got all my love, whether it rains, it remains, you've got all my love. However, as they have released Karate Kid on Full Moon, that has become one of my favourite songs and also contains one of my favourite set of lyrics from the album, and that is: maybe we could share the rain, maybe we could dance again, maybe we could make the sky turn blue. Again, really set of touching lyrics, and I really like how they're descriptive. They caught my attention straight away on that song, and they had to go down in my list of favourite lyrics. So for my favourite songs on the album, this has changed since I reviewed Moon Music a few weeks ago. I've listened to the album loads of times since, and some have become my favourites that I go to, and I just press play on those straight away. So that's completely changed, and they are now All My Love. It contains my favourite set of lyrics, as I've just said, and it is the one song that whenever I listen to this album I go straight to it, press play. It's my most listened to song on the album and 100% my favourite. My second favourite now has to be the Karate Kid. Again, it's because of the lyrics, but there's also just something about that song that I can't quite put my finger on what it is, but it just makes me want to go back and listen to it again and again and again. For my third favourite, it's a cross between Good Feelings and Jupiter. They're both really upbeat songs and they've got a really good vibe behind them that just kind of makes me want to sing along to them. So I couldn't choose between those 2. Now moving on to the artwork, and I'll put a picture of it on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. But I love how they have kept Full Moon in line with Moon Music. It's exactly the same as a crescent moon in a clear starry sky next to a rainbow with an iridescent cloud, but this time it's on a pinky red background, which also still fits in with the name Moon Music on the standard version of the album, and also the name Full Moon on the extended version of the album. So overall, this album is still definitely a contender for my favourite Coldplay album. I personally do think the ordering of the songs could be changed around a slight little bit. I do think that the 3 new songs on Full Moon could have been put on disc 1 with the songs from Moon Music. They are Angel Song, The Karate Kid and Wave. And then I do think disc 2 could have just been like the alternative live versions, because as I say, it did confuse me, but it doesn't take away from the great songs that are on the album. I still absolutely love the album, and it was really nice getting those 3 additional bonus tracks, as I wasn't expecting them when Moon Music first came out. I do also wish they'd released Full Moon on vinyl. I have Moon Music on vinyl and would love to add this album to my collection. However, overall, I do think that Full Moon is a great addition to the Coldplay album collection. It's one that's grown on me the more I've listened to disc 2, and I do really love how we've been given some live versions of the tracks on disc 1, as it was great to listen to how they would sound in a live setting. I did really like that. If you've listened to Moon Music or Full Moon, I would love to hear what you think about them both, so please leave a comment below to let me know. And if you would like to discover some incredible artists, then head on over to my website to go and check them out. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!